Soichiro really showed what he's made of last season, and this season it's been a really tough season for Soichiro, but that victory in Mandalika did show once again what he's capable of. It's just been a tough season for Yamaha, but at the top now, Yuki Kuni, 135.906. It was coming for Yuki. He's found improvements almost every lap. Again, it's just that methodical approach from Yuki. Right now, he tops the practice timing sheets for the first time this session.
Yeah, remember Daniel, we've been looking at his lap times during the races this season, and just looking at the incredible metronomic consistency within a tenth, and when the tyre starts dropping off, you just see like 1/10 a lap slower, 1/10 a lap slower. Really, really good, phenomenal quality rider, Yuki Kuni, and very well deserved seat at the World Championship table in Moto2 for next season. We do wish him well for that.
We will miss Yuki Kuni being around in the paddock, but definitely next season, very well deserved. Best wishes to Yuki Kuni and the team for his future endeavors. And Suta Nagashima's another improvement. This will bring him closer to the top now.
We're on board with Soichiro there. He's done a good sector 1. So Soichiro pushing that Yamaha R1M. Pushing for him to come through sector 2. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, his best sector 2 as well. So this is an improving lap from Soichiro Minamoto, Yamaha Racing Team Asia machine. Let's see how he can get through sector 3. Looking good with the naked eye. Here he comes into turn 12. Hard front, soft rear.
Quite wide there from Soichiro on the last turn. Yeah, doesn't improve his lap time. I think, yeah, the last sector really lost a lot of time for him.
Yeah, last turn in particular, it was an awkward line through.
While that was happening, Tetsuta improved further, and now the gap is just under 3/10 from the top. For Tetsuta Nagashima to Yuki Kuni in first. Kuni now on screen. Not a moving lap for Yuki Kuni, but still a decent one.
Yeah, Nakarin's in the pit. We got 2 minutes left, so that probably is going to be your top 2, and he's not on a particular hot lap. Where's Tetsuta on top? Tetsuta's going to get another flyer in. There's Sharin on our screen there. Little improvement perhaps this time around for the Malaysian. He's getting a little bit out of shape. Pushing really hard. You can see he's using all the curb. Bike's moving around a lot. Let's see how he does through sector 3 here.
I think it's confident looking from Hafiz under braking with the Ducati now. This first time seeing that from him this season, and looking a lot better for Hafiz. He does improve on that lap as well, 137.3.
Yeah, and this will be his last time around. The checkered flag will come out in just over a minute from now. Nishimura.
Both legs off the pegs there, under braking for sure.
Yeah, interesting that we're seeing this tyre combination, hard front, soft rear on probably the majority of bikes. Could be the official recommendation. as it is for Yuki Kuni.
He's just looking behind him and then just signaling to the pit wall there. So Tetsuta there overcooked into the last turn. So I think that's Tetsuta's session pretty much done. Unless he decides to push one more, which looks like he does.
Yeah, trying to judge the body language if he's really going to go for it this time around. It'd be quite something for him to break into the top 3, but to be just within 0.3 the best time. First time out in what should have been a learning session is quite something.
This is the learning pace. I really can't wait to see the qualifying pace from Tetsuta, because this is a real impressive showing so far. As that all happened, the checkered flag does come up for the ASB 1000 Practice 1 session. Tetsuta was still continuing on with the lap, but yeah, sector 1 was slower. He did lose a lot of drive after that mistake into the last turn.
Yeah, as he went into the first turn, he was looking quite casual. Here's a rider who's had a decent session. That one, 5th fastest, within 0.8 of a second of the best time. That is with Yuki Kuni and not under any threat. Two checkered flags here because one high, one low, because the finish line is so close to the final turn. You've got your head down as a rider, you might not see the high one. So red lights on. And the riders coming in now, there we are. Championship leader leads the first session, Yuki Kuni, with a 1:35.906 for the 21-year-old Japanese Nakarin Tirapuvapat, who led much of the session, ended up second. Teammate Andy Farid and second in the championship, third, fourth Tetsuka Nagashima for Astimo S1 Racing, the wild card 136.192. Sakwan Zaidi was fifth, decent session from him. Sixth was Asan Shah Kamaruzaman on the TKKR BMW. Hafiz Shirin, JDT Racing in seventh, 137.3. And Soichiro Minamoto for Yamaha Technical Racing Team Asia was eighth. Ninth, Sho Nishimura, TKKR BMW. Kazma Daniel, Kazmayudin, P10. The recovering Lachlan Epis for Evolution Sports was 11th. 12th, wildcard Natitan Tonakoat for Yamaha TNP PTT Lubricants. Akito Haga for Savitar ESG Team Asia, in for TOU Joe, 13th. 14th, Osama Murray for Victor Racing, and 15th, Chang Chi Ying on the A-Racer Speed Tech machine. 145, as we were saying, that is very much a test bike for the new A-Racer ECU. So that's the end of the first session for ASB 1000. Two more to go through the day. Total of 13 sessions. We are just 3 sessions in, so 10 more to go. Stay with us. We're at Chang International Circuit. When we come back, it will be for the first outing of the day for the Underbone 150s. So stay with us. This is day 1 of 3 for the final round of the Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. We'll see you in a few minutes. You are joining us again at Chang International Circuit. We are here for the final round of the 2024 Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. This is the fourth free practice session of the day, and it is, as you can see and as you can hear, we are on track with the Underbone 150 class. And what a season we've had so far. As we come into the final round, there are just 1 point between number 1 and number 2 in the championship, and 19 points covering the top 4. So Akira Aziz is the championship leader. He's on 115 points. Nazrul Izzat is in 4th, 19 points behind the defending 2023 champion, Uma Racing Yamaha. And in between them, so those are the 2 seasoned riders, in between them, the 2 really exciting young riders in the shape of Yamaha LFN HP 969's Fahmi Bassam and Racetech 60's Aditya Fauzi. So I think that's such a nice little sandwich, with Nazrul in 4th, Akira at the top in first, and Fahmi and Aditya in between them. Again, you know, like in all the classes that haven't, all 4 classes that haven't been decided, you just can't predict which way it's going to go, and this, of course, is the most unpredictable of classes.
The most unpredictable of classes. I think that's the best way to put Underbone racing. It's unbelievable, this field. The talent is really there, and the competition is just unbelievable. We easily see the whole grid competing all the way until the end. We just see one large group fighting through, and especially at the Chang International Circuit, with the amount of straight lines that we have, it's really a battle of slipstream and width. And down to the last turn, we've seen moments where riders end up on the grass, right in the very far inside of the track, and just a real scrap down to the line.
Yeah, it really is the most phenomenal racing. It has fans all over the world. I know a lot of MotoGP fans who watch Underbones because they just love the insanity of it. And I think it also takes most of us back to our youth, when we started playing around with motorbikes and just, you know, getting a little one and stripping everything off it that you didn't need, tuning the engine, make it go as fast as possible. So there's something quite primal, I think, for bike people about the Underbones. Yeah, these engines, basically they're doubling the horsepower output, aren't they, from about 13 stock standard to 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, it's
horsepower.
amazing.
Yeah. And of course, there's the balance then between power and reliability. And again, we've seen, if you just get that balance slightly off, we've seen mechanical failures this year for some of the leading contenders. It's so difficult to get right, and just so fascinating.
Speaking of mechanical issues, one of the One for All bikes has a bit of an issue there. Like smoke coming from underneath the seat. Yeah, speaking of Underbone racing, we had British media come in for the local Malaysian Underbone Championship, and he was saying that it was fantastic to watch, and we were just telling him, well, you should come see Underbone 150 in Asia, because that's insane.
Yep, and here it is on screen now. Notice the one of the more seasoned riders there, Afifan Ran, moved himself up to take an early lead in this 30-minute session. 201.552, just to watch how the times might tumble during this session. Another seasoned rider, Ahmad Fazrul Sham, is second, a couple of tenths behind him. And Murabil Vitoni, who is not far off the top, he's in P6 with 84 points, so not with a realistic chance of the championship, but he is always quick, always expect him to be on the podium, and just registering on the timing screens now, Daniel, is Faris Putra. We've spoken to him we've spoken about him rather off camera a few times. The 16-year-old Malaysian very much seems to be one of Yamaha Malaysia's favoured sons. Wonderful talent that we've been watching this season. He hasn't converted it into results here in ARC Underbones, but he did just clinch the, remind me if I hopefully get this right, you're the expert, the Junior Cub Prix champion.
Yep, that's right. He sealed off the championship there, and Yamaha put a lot of faith in him, and he was sent to the FIM Asia Intercontinental Games, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So represented over there for FIM Asia. So Faris Putra is really a talent on the rise, and I think this final round we should see a good performance from him. He's in good form. He's looked in the best shape as well. We've seen him, and he's looking in good spirits. I mean, he's always happy. I've never seen him in a bad mood. Always positive.
Yeah, that's right. He's talented. He's happy, and I predict a riot, but I predict that he will be on the podium this weekend. He's due a podium, and I think from the way that Yamaha are managing him, this might be the last time we see him on an Underbone. But let's see what happens. We've seen him, as well as the Intercontinental Games. He made an appearance in the Blue Crew Championship. He did a round as a wild card here at Chang and finished second. So yeah, the quality is definitely there for Faris Putra. So one to watch this weekend. And some of this season former champions up in the top 10 as well. Wayuaji Trilaksana for Race Tech 60. He is the team owner of Race Tech 60, and he's done the sport an enormous service by bringing in Aditya Fauzi as a rider into his team. Aditya currently third in the championship and very much with a shout at the big trophy. Kid Aziz is currently the fastest rider out there. We're still in the 201s here. He has a margin of 4:10 over Afif Amran. Their teammates working well together for Fitzbike One Way JRT Tech 2. Well, we have enough time to get out the full name of the team. Third of the way through the session now. Gupita Krishna, another former champion, 2 times champion indeed for S1M, Philippine-based team, but the Malaysian, this is his 3rd season with the Filipino team and gelling very well. Gupita has had 3 DNFs this season, but he's also had 2 seconds and a win, so he can never be counted out this season. But I don't want to go down that who can be counted out rabbit hole, because basically, as you were saying, Daniel, none of them can be. Fahmi Bassam currently 1 point behind championship leader Akid, down in 17th currently on a 204.6. A replacement rider in form of Joseph Dominique Perino from the Philippines, riding for Uma Racing Philippines, so we know he's going to be on a good bike. Currently 19th. We've got a Thai wild card, Tuchat Dwangjit, on the number 299 bike. Actually a lot of bikes with 3-digit numbers. Rugul Matoni 157, Aditya Fauzi 177, Fahmi Bassam 222. Dimas Julie, another quick rider who's going to spring a good result on us any moment now. For LFNH Putra, Indonesian-based Yamaha team, fielding 3 riders in this category. No time yet for defending champion Nazarul, who somehow has still got himself in championship contention, 19 points off Akid, despite breaking his arm or his wrist.
When Nazrul was the collarbone, and dislocated wrist.
Right. That was in Mandalika before we got racing, so he missed that entire round. But somehow he's still got himself in with a very decent championship shout.
Yeah, he's riding Sepang in a considerable amount of pain. From what I heard, he was to the point of tears under the helmet in the race, but he managed to push on and still finish with a good chunk of points in Sepang.
He took 19 points away, including a podium in race 2. P3 in race 2. So we know he's got grit as well as skill. Giancarlo Maurizio there. The yellow front fairing.
Marita and his new helmet design as well for the final round. Nice pink helmet design with a hint of blue and black there. Indonesian riders really do good helmet designs.
Yeah, they certainly do. There's Fahmi Bassam, 222, second in the championship, and he's right behind Aditya Fauzi, who's third in the championship. That's an interesting little pairing. Aditya chops in front of Fahmi as they go into turn 1. From this magnificent commentary position, turn 1 is in fact the only turn we can't see.
Yeah.
If we look out, we can see all around the circuit. Looking into the distance, we can see the city of Buriram, we can see the top of the football stadium. Really is we are up in the gods here. As long as you're okay with heights, Daniel. Are you finding this a bit vertiginous?
that was the word, yes, vertiginous. Yeah, it is a high position and gives us actually a perspective of where the fans usually sit. So for the fans of you in Thailand or around the region, definitely highly recommend you to come by the Chang International Circuit. Such a great grandstand to watch the grand finale.
Yeah, it's an unconventional design because the grandstand is on top of the pits rather than opposite, but it does give you this fantastic view of the circuit. Aditya Fauzi, currently quickest. He's into the 2 minutes, 2:00.55. That's more than half a second quicker than a kid at this point. Excuse me, which is the halfway point of this session.
Yeah, he's in the local Indonesian championships. He's been amazing as well. In One Prix, he's been right at the fight for the championship. In the Mandalika series, he's been in the fight for the championship there as well. And those championships are done for him, but now his focus fully on the Underbone 150s. Can Aditya Fauzi bring glory to the boys in green?
Yeah, they've got running with them now. Joseph Perino, the replacement rider. Replacement rider or a wild card? Let me get this right. He's a replacement rider in the UMA Racing Philippines team for this weekend, number 118. There's Filipino UMA Racing bikes with very distinctive yellow front fairings. Those bikes all going slow, Daniel, or is it perspective?
Hard to tell sometimes with these Underbones,
I
but
think they're trundling.
yeah, it does look that way. Yeah, you can see all of them going wide at turn 3, so about midway through the session for the Underbones, and this is what we expect to see. A lot of them looking for track position or heading back to pit lane for the final setup. There's Masato Fernando, number 17, in the mint turquoise colored Yamaha machinery there.
Good call, Daniel. Mint turquoise. I think you nailed it.
Colors have been one of our expertise here.
Yeah, exactly. We've learned a lot. Maybe the next step will be to use what do you call the Pantone numbers. Let's do that for next season.
We shall prepare. For now, still no significant lap time from Nazrul Izzat. We saw him just posting about it, turn 3 earlier, but no push yet from him. around Idemitsu. He's the new rider in this class, a young talent on the rise for Yamaha as well. Been racing the Mini GP Championships, finished on the podium a number of times there. And in the Youth Championship, he was contesting Faris Putra for the championship battle, but fell short. So Idemitsu, another one to look out for. He comes in for Shafik Rosli.
Championship leader on your screen there, number 13. Pits bike one way, JRT, Yamaha.
One way or another, Akid will be in the top 5 at the finish of the race. It's just a matter of where in the 5. He plans his race so well. I mean, we've seen it so many times. I remember Mandalika, he went all the way last in the second to last lap, and out of nowhere in the last lap, at the last turn, he pops up into the front of the group, and just the quality and the planning of Akid, unbelievable.
Yeah, he really is class above, in a very, very lofty class indeed.
We can talk about what could have, what would have been, but yeah, no DNF in round 1 for Akid, and if then Sepang, round 1 was not a crash for him. Sorry, race 1 wasn't a crash for him. In round 5, how different would this championship look?
Yeah, and for Nazrul's injury, which was a bit of a freak accident, right?
Yeah, exactly. Completely got flung over the bike. Nazrul said himself that he just didn't see it coming. Just had no clue that would have happened. And yeah, so for Nazrul as well, the championship would have been much closer for him. It just shows the amount of factors that play when it comes to racing.
Yep. Now we've got 50 points left in this championship, as we have with the others. And that is now all that matters.
50 points to seal the deal. Will it be Nazrul Izzat in his championship defense? Will it be the new championship win for Aditya Fauzi under the Racetech 60 garage? Or will it be Akid Aziz, the dominant young Malaysian who really wants to seal his name in the international scene?
The Murabil Vitoni just moved himself up to the top. No surprise there for the Yamaha LFN rider. Always there or thereabouts. Murabil, 3 DNFs this season. Kept him out of championship contention. But 2 seconds and a win. Consistency is the name of the game. And last season was a good example for Nazrul, the number 1 there on your screen. He just kept good finishes every time out. He had his glory, he had his wins, he had his podiums as well. It was really just that consistency of finishing that gave him the advantage over the others. Brilliant example of how to do well in Underbone Championship.
Nearly replicated it this season again, but it was just, yeah, the injury, the DNF for him, just a bit much.
Yeah, Sato Fernando running behind Nazrul right now. The rider there just running a little bit wide. Murabil, he's 9/10 ahead, and the only rider into the 159s. Nearly everybody else is in the contenders are in 201s. So that was quite a squirt by the young Indonesian, Murabil Vitoni.
They've got 3 LFN HP 969 bikes in the top 4. Murabil Vitoni in first, Husni in third, Fahmi Bassam in fourth. That's the wild card.
That's Joseph Marino's bike coming in there, so I don't know if that's a mechanical. Oh, okay. Joseph Ifamran having a practice lunge through turn 12.
Cresta just following Fares Putra a bit wide there. It's a good showing from LFN HV969.
Yeah. Terrific riders in their squad, been there or thereabouts all season. I'm just going to dig because I wrote down a quote from Fahmi Bassam. Said something that sounded really wise and seafood-like a few days ago. I think it was on Instagram. Said, every lap is a battle of its own. That's what. And I think really quite profound for the young maniac to come out with, and I mean maniac in the nicest, most respectful sense of maniac. Yeah, I think he summed it up really well.
Yeah.
Could be a media career ahead of him when he finally hangs up his leathers.
Right now, just over 5 minutes left in practice one for the Underbone 150s. And as it stands, a strong showing from the four Indonesians, Nurul Bitoni, Aditya Fauzi, Husni Zainal Fauzi, and Fahmi Bassam. Then in fifth and sixth is the striking duo from Malaysia, Akid Aziz and Afif Amran. And Wayaji in seventh. Wayaji this season has been without a podium, and that's not something. Apologies, he has had a podium in round one, but since round one, race one, without a podium, it's been quite a long time coming for Wayaji.
Yeah, it's unusual. He has had some spills, but you'd expect that in this category. But it is surprising, yeah. For the last championship was 2022. It wasn't that long ago.
2022, yeah, exactly. Yeah. 2023 is understandable. It was the introduction of his own racing team. Then now the second year running. There's still potential glory for Wayaji in the form of Aditya's potential championship victory.
Yeah, I mean this season, the main accolade I think that Wayaji has earned is bringing in Aditya Fauzi and you know, giving him the opportunity to shine. It's a really great career move, and you know, Wayaji has still got it. He just hasn't had the run of luck this season. It's brave to bring somebody who can beat you into your own team.
Yeah, the good thing about them is that you really see this. It's almost like a fatherly pride when you talks about Aditya. He's very proud of what Aditya is doing, and I don't think he looks at Aditya as a threat. He looks at Aditya as someone that he needs to help to get to where he needs to be.
Yeah, yeah. Wayaji has a whole hat full of championships and accolades at home, 2 ARRC championships. So his career already glitters. I believe he also has a stadium named after it back home. So it's great to see him really investing in the sport, bringing new riders through. Massive respect to Wayaji. Good to see Husni up there as well, Daniel.
Yeah, this is some of the best we've seen from Husni. In the championship right now, he's sitting in 8th. First saw him coming in at Mandalika, finished 2nd place in race 2. Been with us since then.
Yeah, Sato Fernando looking aggressive. The camera's picked him up quite often. He looks to be really pushing. He is down in 17th last time I looked. Now 16th, running there with Rekat Yusuf Fadilla. There is Aditya Fauzi, championship contender, the 177, on that distinctive green machine. We just saw going through there, I think that was Fares Putra, yeah, number 33. Fares currently 11th, 2:01.9, so that's 2.4 seconds off the quickest time of Murabil. 1.4 seconds off the best time of everybody else. That was a hell of a lap for Murrayville. That was a Super Bowl practice for him. Just a reminder that the format for the race weekend is they get 2 free practice sessions on Friday, today, and the quickest, how many riders have we got in the championship? Well, let's say the quickest 11 or 12, depending on how many entries exactly we've got, go through to qualifying 2, and then the fastest 10 qualifying 2 go through to Super Bowl shootout for the top 10 places on the grid. So different format for Underbones from any of the other classes. The riders there keeping themselves right out of the way of the rest of the field, just looking for a toe, looking for track position. Checkered flag is going to come out in just over half a minute from now. There goes Fahmi Bassam, he's on it. Currently 4th quickest. And the number 143 is Husni. Fazrul Sham, number 11, is there as well for Cardinals Racing. I thought Fahmi was going to go wide there, but he got a really good line through turn 12 there. And he crossed the line. That was a 2 minutes, 2 minutes.1 for Fahmi. That was his best lap of the session.
All those riders in that frame just now will make it up for another lap.
Yeah, checkered flag just being waved now. There's Murrayville, Aditya, Husni, Fahmi, Akid, Thief, the 2 teammates. And then Wayu, Fazrul, Hirpong Peng, Team 1 rule. We haven't seen him on camera yet. Normally the only Thai rider, but he's joined this time by wildcard Suchat Yuanjit. In for, just going to take a bit of practicing the team name, Zynergy's LA Motorsport iService Asia team. The problem with that team name is during a race, if you say that, the whole positions of the front 10 is going to change, and you might have a new championship winner. So Synergies with the 23 on your screen there. Gupita Krishna leading that group. Tony's fastest lap looks secure. Troubling the timing screens. Murrayville particularly fast through section 2, 3. Wayu has the fastest sector 1. Top speeds. John Emerson in Gito. 4S1N Yamaha, 172.8 kilometers per hour. So the noise volume winds down. A picture of the lake or drainage sump, whatever you want to call it, just in the middle of the circuit there. But Murrayville Vitoni, almost a full second quicker than anybody else on a 1:59.575. Next up, Aditya Fauzi, championship contender. And in third was Nizam Fauzi for Yamaha LFN, Murrayville's teammate. Fahmi Bassam, also for Yamaha LFN HP 969, 300, top 4. Akid Aziz was 5th. His teammate, Ahmad Afif Amran, was 6th. Wayu Trilaksana for Racetech 60 was 7th, 8th. Ahmed Fazrul Sham 9th. Pirapong Movement Peng for Team 1 for All. John Emerson in Gito for 4S1 Evo Yamaha Racing Team was 10th. Paris Putra for Cardinals Factory Racing Team ARRC 11th. 12th Gupita Krishna 13th. Giancarlo Maurizio for Uma Racing Philippines. 14th Dimas Juliet Moko We've seen him set pole position here in the past. 14th, 15th, Adib Arshad, 16th, Masato Fernando, 17th, Rekat Yusuf Fadila for SCK, 18th, his teammate for SDK, Hafiz Faril Rashidan, 19th, Joseph Perino for Uma Racing Philippines, Nazrul Izzat with the best time of 2:05, was 20th, 21st, Suchat Dwanjit, the wildcard for Synergies. So as a hush descends briefly over Chang International Circuit, it's an absolutely beautiful day here. We've got another 9 practice sessions for you, I think. The next up will be TVS Asia One Make. That's coming up in 7 minutes from now at 10:50 local time, so stay with us. We are at Chang International Circuit and it's day 1 of 3 for the final round of the Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. Gentil Kumar Chandrasekaran. Gentil Kumar Chandrasekaran. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We are on track today for the first time with the TVS Asia One Make Championship. This is a championship that has been decided in convincing style by Hiroki Ono, who sealed the championship last year, ironically in the race in which he made his first real mistake of the season. But he sealed it with a points total of 201. Next up on 144, so 65 points back, is Ramdan Rosli, who has chased him and been absolutely indomitable in his approach to racing this season. Been really impressive persistence from Ramdan Rosli, and he's got the results that he's deserved and been pushing for all the time. But just looking at, he's had 7 out of 9 starts. He has finished on the podium. He's got 1 DNF and 1 5th place. So great record for the Malaysian Ramdan Rosli. And his 2nd place in the championship is almost secure. He's 46 points ahead of next up, and that is Sartak Chavan, the sensational, if mercurial, young Indian rider. He is next up on 98 points, and on 93 points is Vorapong Malahuan, and on 90 points is Rocco Sessler. So my reading of this, Daniel, is that P1 and P2 in the championship is pretty much done. Ramdan only needs 5 points to clinch 2nd place. For me, the most interesting battle here is between Sartak Chavan and Rocco Sessler, because they both really stand out as riders with immense potential. Number 13 there on your screen, that's Casey Edward Clammer, but they stand out as having real potential for greater things. The German rider and the Indian rider, both very much fancied at home. Rocco has already the Northern Talent Cup to his name for 2024, and great things expected from him next year, we hear. When it's official, we will let you know, but definitely watch out for the battle for third place. That's between Rocco, Sartak, and not forgetting the big boss of this series, Vorapong Malawan, the man that made it all happen. He's had only one podium finish this season. He's busy training these riders. He has his own training school back in northern Thailand. He's running the Superbike team for A-Racer Speed Tech as well, and a number of other ventures he's got in the BRIC paddock as well. He's a really busy rider, so hasn't shown the kind of form that won him the inaugural championship in 2022, but I think this time out he's going to really pull the plug, pull the pin rather, hopefully not pull the plug.
This weekend should be a good one. Yuki Ono, of course, with no pressure this weekend, clinched championships, clinched his national championship and the TVS Asia One Make Championship. Should he continue next season, he'll be having the #1 plate that has been held by Muzakir for this season.
Yeah, been a difficult season for Muzakir with injury concerns. A real shame, but it was a wonderful moment when he clinched the championship last year. And a great testament to the persistence of Muzakir, who's had a long career of ups and downs. There he is, the #1. Currently third. This is a 20-minute session. We're 7 minutes into it. Another quick engine rider who's been coming through, Chiran Vishwanath, currently sits on top of the timing screen. You've got Ati Kangair, promising Thai rider. While we were focusing on Rocco and Sartak, there's plenty of other quality. Ati Kangair has been quick. Deki Chano Aldi has been one of the mainstays of this championship, young Indonesian. He's currently 4th fastest. And the number 19 we've got in this time, Kantapat Yapgan Thai. Thai rider in for the first time we've seen in this championship. They have been rotating riders throughout the season. Duran, just look at the lap time, 1:53.5. That was Akira, 1:54.1. No real patterns emerging yet, Daniel.
Yeah, nothing yet. What I'm looking forward to is Kim Min Jae. He's been putting in some extra work in the Malaysian Superbike Championship, riding the 250 class there, so he has been improving. It'll be interesting to see whether Kim Min Jae can give one final hurrah for the season. Maybe find his way into the top 5s this time round. Random Rossley's on a really good lap. Fastest sector 1, fastest sector 2 from Ramdan Rosli.
Yep, only 2 laps completed so far, so this is 3rd flying lap. We know he's going to go well here because he goes well everywhere. There he is, the #4. And #2 in this year's championship. Just used exactly all the curve then on the exit. There he goes top, Daniel.
That's a whole second clear of Dekitiano in second. That was a monster of a lap from Ramdan Rosli.
Yeah, now without the pressure, let's see what the tactics of Hiroki Ono are going to be. Are they going to be the same with a last late flying lap to break the hearts of the competition? Whether he'll try something different. Kid just moving ahead of Ramdan there. The riders know each other very well. Malaysian. Often been in the same categories over the years. Orapong Malahuan, currently 6th, riding with the number 3 and the white helmet. Here moves ahead, and Rosley behind. For equality between those three RR310 Apache machines. The bikes have been getting better and better as well. 310 single cylinder engines and that high compression creating challenges, but again it's a racer that have calmed things down so they don't get the big lockups under braking and so on. We saw first time out back in 2022, getting well out of shape under braking. It's great to see how electronics can work on the smaller machines as well as on superbikes.
A bit closer comfort there between Ramdan and Muzakir, but they are two good friends.
Yeah, I think they're enjoying themselves out there.
Screen is just Ramdan going in aggressive there, turn 3 behind him. Orapong Malahuan.
Haven't seen too much of the number 9, Sartak. Sartak Shaban. So exciting. Back in March when we came here for the first time, he picked up a 3rd and a 2nd. He's been a little more mercurial since then. He had a good outing Mandalika, 2 podiums, and he took another podium, P3, in race 2, last time out at Sepang. We're looking now at Casey Edward Clammer. Wide onto the green. That wouldn't work out well if it was the last lap of a race. Result, places dropped. Number 15 there is Rocco Sessler. Saying rider definitely to watch out for this weekend. He's really on a high confidence-wise.
Yeah, and he was mentioning to me that yesterday that he's happy to come back to Chang because it's finally a circuit that he has ridden before.
Yeah, he's been saying all season, it's great to come to these tracks in Asia and to come to them for the very first time. So, but they're all new, and he has done a great job, especially at Sepang when he took that win.
Right now it's Muzakir followed by Ramdan, and a really good lap as well from Muzakir, 151.9. Fastest lap times we saw in round 1 here in Chang was a 148 from Hiroki Ono.
Yeah, this is a really promising start. It's the best start to the weekend that we've seen from Muzakir. Ramdan having a well-deserved break. That's just got coming up. Deki Chano Aldi. Been going well this session. Deki hasn't been making the steps that you might expect from a young rider since he joined the series in 2022. But he's still a threat. So it's Muzakir, Ramdan Rosley, Orapong Malahuan, Sartak Shaban, Deki Tiano Aldi, Durant Vishwanat and Ati Kanger. And Kantapat, 8th quickest. The Thai, I was going to say wild card, but they don't really have wild cards here. They just let some riders in. Field of 15 this time. And they have 2-part qualifying, so they're going to split them into, I'm not sure whether it's going to be a 7 and an 8 or an 8 and a 7. So they'll have 2-part qualifying tomorrow morning. So they have 2 sessions today. The quickest 7 or 8 on combined times will go through to qualifying 2, and the others will have qualifying 1. In fact, they call them qualifying A and B, I think. Anyway, it's a normal 2-part qualifying format.
Well, look at this guy who started to climb up to the top. It's Hiroki Ono, 0.6 away from Muzakir. So, as it is always with Hiroki, you'll wait until the last few minutes to start pushing. And we are seeing Hiroki climb up.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that Hiroki Ono is coming here intending to finish the season off with a double win. He absolutely is. He just hates finishing second. He's such a cool, calm, and brutal competitor. Absolute savage, competitively speaking. And an absolute gentleman otherwise.
True, indeed. Got so much experience under his belt, and he's always pushing for the best. As of right now, the fastest sector times are coming from Vorapong.
Yeah, we expected him to be really pushing this weekend. And as a long-time watcher and kind of a mate of Vorapong, sort of speculating that with all the other things he's got going on, that he might step out of competitive racing next season. Let's see how fiercely the fire still burns within him, but he's got so much going on outside, and he is now the quickest rider, 151.466. That puts him half a second quicker than Muzakir, who is the next best. So that was a really good lap from Vorapong.
Oh, and an even better lap coming from Ramdan Rosli. 151.0 from Ramdan. Hiroki was on a decent lap before this, but he backed away from it when he saw Ramdan right behind him.
Yeah, Rocco Sessler having a bit of a quiet one this session. Currently 12th quickest. 4 seconds off the best time. There's Ramdan. Ramdan's going to bank that best time. Hiroki Ono shoots past him as Ramdan makes his way towards the pit lane entry. But I don't think Hiroki Ono is going to lift himself up too much unless he really gets a move on.
Yeah, it's strange. Usually at this time we start seeing Hiroki go up to the top, but just under 2 minutes left, and Hiroki's not looking too interested in it. But in sector 2 already an improvement.
Yeah, he's pushing now.
Maybe it'll be the coming lap.
Yeah, he's going to have one more lap after this one.
Yeah, I think this situation is what Hiroki wanted. Absolutely clear behind him, absolutely clear in front of him.
Yeah.
And this should be a good one coming up from Hiroki Ono. Hiroki's got acres of space in front of him and behind him, so
yeah,
no one's going to benefit from Hiroki's lap coming in.
beautiful line there. And that was 152.3, so that was his best time of the session. But he's shaping up, as you said, Daniel, to really try and put in a humiliating lap this time around.
He's done a 148 in round 1. Right now the benchmark for this session is a 151.0. Let's see whether Hiroki can break into the 150s. Maybe even below the 150. We never know what Hiroki's capable of, but into turn 3 goes Hiroki Ono. Sector 1. It's an improvement, but not faster than Vorapong sector 1.
Jay goes through the number 14, Seoul Korean representative. That's Seoul with an S-O-L-E. I actually don't know which city he comes from. Hiroki Ono, trying to spot him on track. The naked eye, but he must be. Oh no, sector 2. He's dropped off.
Yeah, it's still a decent sector 2. It's only a tenth slower than Ramdan's, but
Yeah, dropped off by his standards.
by his standards, yeah, it's just not going to be enough for Hiroki. Unless he pulls some magical sector 3, but let's watch Hiroki as he makes his way through. Checker flag is out now. Hiroki Ono through the final sector of this Chang International Circuit and makes his way down to turn 12. The heartbreaking zone. Who's that that's found himself behind him? I think that could be Rocco. Oh no, it's not Rocco, but here's Hiroki now. Comes across the line. Should still be a decent lap. It's a 152.0. So it's an improvement, but Hiroki, surprisingly, finishes practice in P4.
Yep, I'm still sticking with my story that he's going to want to pick up a double win this weekend, knowing the nature of the beast that he is, quite literally on track. But shout out for Ramdad Rosley for topping that session, and also to Vorapong for running him pretty close, less than 4/10. And good to see Muzakir on decent form. So we'll see them one more time today, this afternoon. Ati Kangia showing good pace. Sartak not so much, 1.9 seconds off his best time. So the riders I called to watch out for have been 6th and 13th, Sartak and Rocco. But I guess we're going to see more from them this afternoon, because they are going to be looking to go through to qualifying too.
Was the last minute improvement there from Rocco Sessler. Up into 10th. Better, but still a bit of a gap.
Yeah, 2.8 seconds. The gap is there, but Ramdan Rosley, great session from him. 151.099 puts him top, 4/10s quicker than Vorapong Malahuan, who is second. Third, Muzakir Mohammed. Fourth, Hiroki Ono. Fifth, Ati Kangia, decent session from him. Sartak Shavan, fairly quiet by his mercurial standards, in 6th. 7th, Deki Tiano Aldi, and 8th, Chirant Vishwanath, another really strong Indian rider. Casey Clammer, that was better from him, 153.8. 9th, Rocco Sessler came up late to 10th. Kantapat Yabkantai in 11th. 12th, Kwai Ahmed, and 13th, Senthil Kumar Chandrasekaran, and 14th, Kim Min Jae. 15th, Irvin Eksan, the Singaporean, in 15th place. 15 rider field. Everybody was out on track, and as I said, we will be seeing them one more time. So we are going to take a break, then we're going to rinse and repeat and come back with free practice 2 for the AP 250s who got things going this morning. So stay with us. We will be back at 11:20 local time. That's in 6 or 7 minutes from now. Free practice 2 for the for AP 250s. We are at Chang International Circuit. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Chang International Circuit here in the heart of Thailand. We are here for the last, pretty sure I'm right in saying the last great championship round of the season worldwide, as most of the other championships are over, but there's plenty of action left this weekend for the final round of the Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. It's Friday, and that means it's free practice. We've already had one free practice session for the AP 250s that you can see on your screen now. And one of the riders that missed that session, I saw first bike on my screen, was the number 37 Kawasaki of Aiki Iyoshi. So good to see him showing up in this session. So whatever kept him out last time has been resolved. These riders now on their outlaps. And in the session one this morning, it was an impressive performance from championship leader Herjan Atner, despite running with a rev cut of, well, he's had 2 rev cuts, so that means he's got 1000 RPM chopped off the top of his rev range. For Herjan Atner, he nevertheless topped free practice 1 this morning from 2 closest championship contenders, Ferozi Torakatula and teammate Yandra Ramadipa. Been plenty of attrition in this class this season. Herjan Atner having had a DNF and a couple of poor finishes, and Ramadipa missing a race through injury as well, and Ferozi Torakatula having broken his leg. So the top 3 in the championship have all had their trials this season, but they're still there, separated by not very many points, separated indeed by 12 points between those top 3. Herjan Atner on 132, 10 points behind him is Kiandra, and further 2 points back on 120 is Ferozi Torakatula. So that's where the drama is as we start this weekend for the final showdown. The paddock is absolutely alight with the possibilities this weekend. There's a real buzz as we went through and interviewed the majority of the competitors, Daniel, yesterday. It was a busy afternoon, but we found out a lot, and we really picked up the atmosphere that's here for this final round.
It's really great. The finale usually always brings a certain aura towards it, and with 4 championship battles still very much alive, it's even more the case this time round. And a lot of exciting wildcards and replacement riders from literally all parts of the world. We've got the South American Humberto in the 250 class this time as well. He's looking good at the end of the session, and he's at the top of the list now.
Yeah, he came out really strong first time, and it was his first couple of laps. He was the fastest on the second flying lap. So that's really impressive and shows his quality and the speed of his ability to learn a circuit. That was really impressive. He ended up 8th with the best time of 154.3. So just a second adrift of Herjan, who was the quickest. This rider had a good session too. The number 21 Kawasaki will here scream past our commentary position as I speak. Deandra Trihardika, and he's got running with him Warwick Tongnapakun, the number 27 for East NJT Racing Team. Just ahead, going through the heat haze there, was his teammate Watcherin Tumtimon, the number 25. We're there at the moment with Deandra and Warwick. You can see their difference in stature there. Warwick is a really tall rider, and the height does make a difference on these machines. He's not exactly carrying a lot of extra weight, is he, Warwick, physically? Shunshan Zhang on the number 40 TY Antares machine. He's responsible for bringing in Humberto, you were talking about, into this final round as a wild card. Cal Vietnam, great first session from him. He ended up 6th.
Good to see Aiki Yushi out on track as well. Missed out the entirety of the last session.
Right, Cal Vietnam getting out of shape there, getting onto the bumpiest part of the curb. Makes his way through turn 11. Lunges down to turn 12. Currently quickest. Did the quickest sector 2 this time. Yeah, that was his quickest lap, 1:53.9. So within 6/10 of the fastest lap set in this morning's first 30-minute session. Getting very wide on the curve again there. So if you go too wide, Daniel, you do get bumped around a lot.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, by choosing the line you feel most confident in. There's a couple of the Bunsu riders, Irfan Aykal and Sharfuddin Azman, right behind Herjanatna, so that's a good place to be for Irfan. Irfan's been gaining a lot more after about midway through the season, doing more of what we expected from him, but didn't show much in practice 1. He was down in 14th. Currently in this session he's up into 8th, so a bit better from Irfan.
Yeah, good sessions again. We were saying Cal Vietnam currently top, but Hu Tri, he's 7. And look at this, wild card, Pirapong, excuse me, Boonlert, jumps up to the top, 1:53.746 for him. And another wild card, Humberto, in 3rd. So, we're 9 minutes into the session, so interesting stuff already.
Indeed, and Humberto's just put in his best lap of the weekend, a 154.2. In comparison, in practice 1, he was lapping 154.3. So already after 4 laps, Humberto improving further. So it should be an improvement coming in from Humberto. It's just that sector 1, he's losing a lot of time there. So once he gets used to it, and mind you, this is his first time here, so it is impressive from Humberto.
It all seems to be the mark of quality riders that they pick up circuits so fast. Fantastic example of that we've seen in recent years was last season's ASB 1000 champion Marcus Reiterberger.
Indeed. Marcus was brilliant, and brilliant. Chandra Ramadipa goes up into 1st, 153.3. Irfan was right behind Herjanatna, so it should have been a good lap as well, and it was a good lap from Irfan, 154.4 for Irfan Haikal. So he goes up into 8th again. Oh, sorry, he remains in 8th.
Yep, Herjanatna continues to make his way up the timing screen. Currently 6th, and within a second of his teammate. Irfan and Deandra running together. That's Aiki, I think. Yeah. Aiki Oshi on the green machine, Motul Sniper Manual Tech Kawasaki 4-cylinder bike. Now let's watch them run together with the Hondas, the twin-cylinder Hondas, and the inline 4 Kawasaki.
Asman just backed off from this group, but his teammate Irfan just sticking behind Herjan, and I think it's a good move from Irfan. Just stay behind the championship leader, trying to gain as much as he can, and it's been working so far. Herjan's bound to push at any moment, and Irfan will gain a lot from that.
A couple of riders running wide there. 6. rosy. So it's getting a bit tactical out there, I think.
Asma just behind Kiandra there. I think he wanted to get a bit of toe from Kiandra, but Kiandra had other plans.
Yeah. So a whole bunch of riders coming in now, just ahead of the halfway point in the session.
Roberto has improved into the 154.0, but not only that, his top speed of 192.9 is the fastest top speed for the session. So nothing wrong at all with the TY and Terrace Yamaha R3.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there. And good to spend a little bit of time on screen there with Aiki Iyoshi, having missed it this morning. He's done a fantastic job this season of getting that four-cylinder Kawasaki competitive. Great work by him and the team. And he's still in with a championship shout. A little bit theoretical, but nevertheless it reflects the great work that he's done this season. Aiki on, let's see, 98 points. 132 is Urgent's total at the top. Aiki Iyoshi, we're looking for obviously top speed and also corner speed. Braking's more difficult for that heavier bike. One of the early things they worked on in round one. Remembering shooting straight off at turn 4, I think, at one point. I spoke to him afterwards. He said the brakes just weren't up to it, so they changed they did something to the brakes. Not sure exactly what they changed, whether it was discs, pads, or everything, possibly, or a bigger disc maybe. But yeah, they've got it sorted really well, and he is competitive now.
Yeah, Aiki and the bike just gelling together quite well, and I think it's a good choice to hang on to Aiki Iyoshi for the development of the ZX25. I think it's worked really, really well. Aiki stays another season, I think we'll definitely see the ZX25 have a better shot at the championship fight.
Yep, there he is, just controlling it. Flips into turn 11. That was the wrong green bike I was looking at.
See how much weight is really pushing on the front of the ZX25R. Dives at the front like a SuperSport would, in comparison to all the other 250 machineries. This is Pirapon Bunlert. Beautifully slides it into the last turn.
Yeah, since winning the championship of the SuperSport 600 championship in 2019, he's mostly been riding 400s. So a lot of light bike experience.
A little bit further back here, we're looking for Pirapon once again. That's Leong Nang Se earlier on the Victor Racing Yamaha R3. And back with Pirapon Bunlert. First sector decent from Pirapon. Could be another improvement coming in. Last lap was an improvement as well, 153.708.
Yeah, a lot of the times are better, just looking rider by rider. Example, Shen Zhang, 156 this time, 157.9 last time, so he's improved by 1.3 seconds.
One that we're expecting a little bit more from would be Kitsara Tanachot. Thought there's a good talent coming up for Honda Thailand, but he's down in 14th currently.
Yeah, Shrifuddin Azman for Idemitsu Bunstu Honda. Down in 11th, so we know more can come from him. He got a P4 and a P3 in his debut back in March when he first came here in AP 250s. Jumping off prototypes, which was an impressively quick adaptation.
Again there from Peter Bumble learned 153.3. He closes the gap down to just over a 10th. Kianda Ramadipa. The top speed for Peter Bumble learned not the fastest. About 5 kilometers per hour down from Kiandra's top speed, but slipstream could definitely be a factor for that. Peter Bong's been riding the past few laps on his own. No help at all.
Yeah, beautifully smooth, tidy rider, Pirapong. There with just behind Watcherin Timtimon. Two Thai riders together, one Honda, East NJT. And Pirapong's team, Yamaha Vit Chonburi. A big industrial area just south of Bangkok. We're a long way, something like 300 or 400 kilometers from there, up here in kind of central northeast Thailand. Coming here for 10 years now. Circuit opened in October 2014. The Asia Road Racing Championship was the first international event here, and there's been, it's fair to say, a really good relationship between the circuit owners and Two Wheels, the promoter of this series, Tools Motor Racing. And yeah, last several seasons, and next season indeed, we're bookending the championship, starting and finishing here. Beautiful weather now, currently about 29 degrees, low humidity, very different to the conditions in March.
Yeah, March we're looking at temperatures close to 40 degrees Celsius, and it was really scorching hot, barely any wind.
All right, Gasket coming out on track, just taking a moment to look behind. The group of 8 or 9 bikes following him out. So Kiandra Ramadipa, who trails his teammate in the standings. Teammate, of course, Herjan Atner by 10 points. Currently on top of the timing screen, 153.36. There's that group of riders that just came out. Up to turn 3. One of several overtaking spots on this Chang International circuit. All kinds of lines through there. You can go wide, you can go tight. So many options through turn 3. And then there's turn 4, which you approach over a blind crest. These bikes should be taking it flat out, I think, Daniel, and then you get into the more technical part of the circuit where you need to get every entry, every exit and every braking point right in order to get put a really good lap together.
Yeah, the trick of 250s is to really maintain that fast flowing rolling speed, and can get a bit tricky in a layout like this. That's where we see often a mistake where a rider loses the front easily. A lot of riders now going really slow at the edge of the track.
Yeah, Shin Jang there, looking for the tab on his tear-off, I think. Kiyoshi. Trundling into the pits. There's just over 8 minutes remaining in this 30-minute session. There's Sharifuddin Azman, currently 11th. He was 12th in the first session, so we know there's more to come from the Malaysian former Moto3 rider. There he is, number 63, riding for Idemitsu Honda. His teammate Irfan Haikal is ahead of him, and that's Diandra Trihardika, the Indonesian, on the Kawasaki in between them. Been for some time the top three, in fact the top four. Diandra, Pirapong, Cal Vietnam, Humberto. Haven't seen too much of Ferozi. Ferozi done any laps? 6 laps. By no means the busiest rider on circuit there, Ferozi Torikatula. Comes in third with a real shot at the title. Trailing Hergen by just 12 points with 50 on the table. So many permutations. What could happen? That's a rabbit hole that's too deep for me to go down with my limited mathematical prowess. Yeah. There is Diandra, Irfan, and Sharifuddin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not really liking what's going on track. A lot of people just posting about waiting for track position, but ultimately it's practice, and in my mind they should just be trying to get as much mileage as they can, get the data in, find the setups.
So let's shout for Cal Vietnam for getting the work done. He's just moved himself up into second, just 900ths slower than Kiandra on top. So good work ethic, as he always has.
Yeah, it's what Cal Vietnam, yeah, is displaying just exactly what you should be doing. Just get the mileage in, get the data in, and set some good laps, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. And now he's in second. This is a small margin away from Kiandra.
And he's on another good lap. That was a good sector 1 for him. Yeah, you just articulated exactly what I was feeling, Daniel. Like, come on. Free practice, it's not a holiday. There's 99 is the Brazilian wild card, currently sitting 4th. Humberto.
He's had a bit of a long rest in pit lane, so it's interesting to see what he can do now.
All right, Gasca. Humberto runs off well wide. He's looking for a space, I think. Gets his head down again. 4.5 minutes remaining. What we're looking at here is
yeah,
this is what the tactic you were talking about earlier, Daniel, is that Humberto would get used to the circuit in the first session and then have a run with Shenzhen Jiang to help him around, although he's not going to learn much at that speed. He was just indicating, here we turn right. So, yeah, having a little cruise. That Marshall's post, they have a good tee there. So let's see, at some point they're going to have a good go at it, I think. There is Irfan Haikal, number 41, for Idemitsu Honda. Irfan currently 8th, teammate Sharifuddin Azman 11th. Hojanat has been in 6th for a while, having topped the morning session. He's indeed a full second, almost exactly a full second slower his best time than his best time this morning, which, as I recall, he set very early in the session. The white bike there, number 11, Kevin Kintel. Irfan runs wide. Cal Vietnam, while all this shenanigans is going on, has moved himself up another place to P1, so he's, I think I can safely anticipate your opinion, Daniel, is that he's our rider of the session.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's just gone even faster now, 152.881.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, yeah. It's just Cal Vietnam just putting in the hard work, and he set the fastest lap time of the weekend for the EP250 so far. 2 minutes and a bit left. Everyone else on some improving sectors. Humberto is improving. Cheng Zhang should be right behind Humberto, so let's see what he does as well.
Hu Tri just going through there. Hu Tri for Honda Racing Vietnam in 10th. He was 9th this morning. Very decent showing from him. That's the number 18 there. We've got Kevin Kintel behind him. And the number 17 of Mohsin Paraban, the two Idemitsu Honda India riders. 1 minute 42 left. So hopefully the dawdling is over. You can see the two Kawasaki's just at the top of the screen there. There's Irfan and Mohsin.
Humberto's on a good lap. He will be improving a bit. Instead, Tarachal goes up into 9th. Vietnam's on another improving lap as well. Cheng Zhang improves up into 21st. Humberto does not improve his lap time. Sector 3 was much. Oh, must have been a mistake in Sector 3 for Humberto. Maybe 5 seconds slower than it should be.
Yeah, so Cheng Zhang and Humberto need to work on the plan. It is a difficult thing to do, really. And again, for 250, Cheng Zhang, he's a tall rider.
He is, yes. I mean, the interesting thing was Cheng Zhang did mention that they have a 3-year plan for him. So 3 years in the AP250 class, and it'll be interesting to see. I'm guessing after the 3-year period, he would be making his way to SuperSports, which would make sense with his height.
For sure, yeah. That's Hu Tri, number 18, going through to complete another lap. He's just going to get one in. The checkered flag will come out to end the session in just 2 seconds, 1 second. Here it comes. Cal Vietnam, that was not an improvement that time around. Having set the fastest sector 2 of the session. There's Kiandra, the number 212. He's been near the top of the timing screens all the way through. We haven't seen him too often in the screen. He's got replacement rider for Piawat Patumios, Kitsadar, behind him. Kitsadar has just jumped up into P6, just behind Humberto. Humberto up into P4. He takes the checkered flag for this session. He's bumped down none other than Pirapong Boonlert.
Rosie's gone up into 2nd, 153.071. Good job there from Mohamed Farouzi. Definitely rider of the session, Cal Vietnam.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's probably going to stay there, just looking at what the other riders are doing. In terms of work rate, it's him, Humberto, Warwick Tonopakun. He will have completed 13 laps by the time he gets to the end of this. Aiki Yoshi making up for lost time this morning. He will have completed 13 laps. Shunchun Jiang will have completed 14 laps by the time this is over. Over at Heikel going up the inside of Hu Tri. The last time for them through turn 12, but Irfan way off on the green, almost onto the black beyond it. But that will be Vietnam done for the session. 13 laps completed for the Vietnamese rider. And great session from him. He deserves his place at the top. 152.881, there you are. And second, with that late surge from Ferozi Torakatula, championship contender for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. He was second. Just ahead of him in the standings is Kiandra Ramadipa. He was third fastest. Humberto Cesar Mayaneto, to give him his full name, was fourth. Fifth, Pierpont Burnlert, sixth. Replacement rider Kitsadar Tanachot in for East NJT Racing Team. Arai Gaska was seventh quickest on a 154.3. Herjanatna Firdaus was eighth, having been quickest in the first practice session. Irfan Heikel was ninth. He pushed hard towards the end there. Watcherin Timon for East NJT was 10th. 11th, Hu Tri, another good session for the Vietnamese. Sharifuddin Azman 12th for Idemitsu Bunshu Honda. Warwick Tong Nopakun, busy rider that session. His best time was 154.8. Donam Pu, the third Vietnamese rider, in 14th. 15th, Kevin Kinto. 16th, Yandra Triadika. 17th, Aiki Yoshi. Two Kawasaki's there together. Wang Jiedong for Victor Racing was 18th. 19th was Alfred Jacob Sablaya for STG. 20th, Joanne Reeves Emmanuel for Gusto Racing India. 21st, Shunchun Jiang, busy rider again. Emil Itzar Ezwan was 22nd, and we're not done yet because Gao Tse Ang for Team One Overall was 23rd, 24th, Mersit Paramban, and 25th, Luang Nanze for Victor Racing Team. That's free practice 2 for the AP 250 class. Next up will be the second session of the day for SuperSport 600s. That's coming away in not very many minutes from now. In 12 o'clock on the stroke of midday, we'll be back on track with SuperSport 600. So stay with us at Chang International Circuit. We're here for free practice day for the final round of the Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. It's a beautiful day here at Chang International Circuit. We're here for the final round of the 2024 Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship. Slightly put off there by the sight right at the beginning of the session of championship contender Adinanta Putra having crashed on either his outlap or his first flying lap. So a little bit of a setback there for the Astra Honda man. There are three entries from Astra Honda in this class. The number 1, 2, 3 racer Danica Arens is one of them. He threads his way through turn 3, just ahead of one of the Thai Hondas. I think that's Tanat, yeah, Tanat Longpliao. And behind them is we're going to go to Daniel Bogas, who's got into. Beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen. We're just waiting for an interview, but while we do that, we are looking here at Kiatisak Singapong, who had a great session this morning, among the fastest all the way through, and ended up third quickest with a time of 1:40.013. The fastest rider from this morning. Let's hold that for a moment. Helmi Asman on your screen there. Him and his Idemitsu Bunsu Honda teammate Azroy Hakim Anwar had a bit of a quiet session this morning, finishing 7th and 8th quickest. We know there's much better to come from the pairing than that. Helmi's best time very early in the session, 1:40.268, which is pretty close to his best. In fact, it's better than his quickest time this morning. So Helmi Asman already off to a really promising start in this second of 3 free practice sessions on this gorgeous Friday here in Buriram, Thailand. This is a wonderful time of year for the weather here in Thailand. Really, if you're ever going to visit here and you can get away between late November and say early February, it is the best time. Humidity's low, sunny, not too hot. You get nice cool evenings. And so we are running in very different conditions to the heat we experienced in late March, which was when we had the first round this season. Okay, so we're looking there at the number 64 of Utadate. He's replacement rider for Andy Fadley, who sadly we haven't seen this season because of injury. But the Japanese rider coming into Yamaha Racing Indonesia for the replacement. Utadate, we've seen very useful rider here in ARC before. He's got Azroy Hakim Anwar just ahead of him. Just moving past him there. Moving past him is Kiatisak. Kiatisak, number 85. Kiatisak, one of the hottest properties of the young riders coming in as rookies. It raised a few eyebrows, including mine, that Yamaha Racing Thailand came in with 2 SuperSport 600 rookies who represent them this year, but my goodness, their judgment is spot on, has been spot on, with Kiatisak having taken 2 podiums, one in round 4 at Mandalika, one in round 5 at Sepang, and looking really confident here. Tanat Longpliao hasn't made the podium, but he has been really quick, and would be surprising to see him climb the wooden stairs to the podium this weekend, the final weekend of the 2024 season. And it would be a good marker from him. He's gone well. as well as racing in ARC. He's been investing time and energy in attending the MSBK Malaysia Superbike Series, where a lot of these top riders go to get extra track time. Tanat won last time out in the SuperSport class, running there with the always quick Azroy. Azroy, like his teammate Helmi, was a little bit off colour this morning, but right back on it now. 1:40.046 his best time now, which is half a second quicker than he was this morning. And that's Wayun Groho. Another season's rookie, made a really promising start with, from memory, it was a P5 and a P4 in round 1. Kind of faded for the rest of the season, but says he's looking forward to coming back and ending the season in style. He looked so good in round 1, so let's see what he can do this weekend. And we haven't made any real positive mentions of the championship battle here, which is between Apiwat Mongtananon, currently second quickest. There he is, right on time on your screen as he comes up to complete another lap. He was fourth quickest this morning, which was not as far up the order as you would expect. Apiwat was in absolutely imperious form in the first half of the season, racking up first and second finishes in every race, until that is, he broke his wrist in one of the local, the BRIC championship rounds, which came between rounds 3 and 4. So round 4 was very much damage limitation for him. He only managed to pick up 9 points at Mandalika, and he came back stronger at Sepang. He says he's in good shape, and the bike is in good shape this weekend. He's made a good start to this session. We're just 1/3 into this 30-minute free practice 2 session for the SuperSports, and he's almost 0.2 of a second behind the fastest rider so far, Kiatisak Singapong. But we stay with Apiwat, who comes in with a 14. Oi! And down he goes. Oh, sorry, that was I beg his pardon. I was checking the timing sheet and put 1 and 1 together and made 6. Wow. Well, that is unfortunate. That's Ratapong Willarot. I was shaping up to talk about him in glowing terms in a while, but he's just made a mess of that Yamaha R6. He hasn't made a mess of himself though, but that's the important thing. He was quickest this morning. A really electrifying performance from the returning Ratapong, who smashed, absolutely wrecked his ankle in the last race of the season in 2023. This is his first time back, and he came in and topped the first session with a 1:39.937. That time's been bettered by both Kiatisak and Apiwat. Take another look at that tumble. Bike goes absolutely through the air, smashes itself to pieces. So we're not going to see Ratapong out again in this session with 18 minutes remaining. Marshall's run to see if the rider's okay, but thankfully he is. He got off the bike before it set itself on that path of destruction. But session over for Ratapong Willarot. His best time is currently 1:40.187. So he sits 5th as it stands. We're back with Helmi Asman, number 32. Behind him is teammate for Idemitsu Bunshu Honda. That is Azroy Hakim Anwar. Azroy having a decent session. Not quite into the 1:39s yet. On a 1:40.046. Helmi on a 140.2. Bit of a head shake there, and running off there and into the pit entry for the number 20. Follows his teammate, number 32, Helmi Asman, for a mid-session break. So currently it's Kiatisak Singapong for Honda Racing Thailand in the number 1 spot. Number 2 is Apiwat, the championship leader. Number 3, Azroy Hakim Anwar. Tanat Longpliao also for Honda Racing Thailand. 4th, his best time 140.109. So knocking on the door of those 139s. Ratapong out of this session after that crash. And there was a crash on his outlap for Adinanta Putra, the main championship contender here. He comes in 14 points behind Apiwat Mongtananon. Apiwat on track there. On a respectable lap, looking at it. Ratapong getting a lift back to pit lane after that almighty tumble. So it was good that he got out of the way of that bike before it started destroying itself. Apiwat completes another lap. Won't be a particularly shining one. That was a 139.9. His best time was 139.7. So he set himself a good target, and his pace looks good. You always sense with Apiwat that he comes in to any race at Chang International feeling like he owns the place. Eased off now, so I'm guessing he's going to come in as we are midway through the session. And that's wild card of note, that's Tosak Nuansai. Tosak on TN Motorsport Yamaha. They have another bike in Superbike, the ASB 1000 class. But here we're watching Vida Ega Pratama, the 15-year-old Yamaha Racing Indonesia prodigy, sorry, the Astra Honda prodigy, Vida Ega Pratama, and the Yamaha Racing Thailand seasoned campaigner, Apiwat Wongtananon. We've seen him in so many shapes and sizes in ARRC over the years, from AP250s up to Superbikes. He's currently leading the championship in SuperSport 600s, and this is a decent session. Best time 139.711, an improvement of about 0.4 on his first outing of the morning. There is Tosak, the wild card. You can see TNP and PTT prominently displayed as his key sponsors. He crossed the line. That could have been an outlap looking at the time of it, but his best time has been 141.92. Yatisak Singapong for Honda Racing Thailand remains at the top. Everyone except Tosak, and just Tosak out alone on track at the moment. Ratapong is out of the session. It looks as though Adinanta Putra is out of the session, which is a bit of a shocker, given the intent that he came to Buriram. The intent was to wrestle the championship somehow out of the hands of Apiwat Wongtananon, to mitigate that 14-point advantage that the Thai rider brings into the final race of the year, his home race. A race at which this time last year he impressed so much. He came in as wingman to Soichiro Minamoto, and by dint of winning the first race with Minamoto behind him and finishing second with Minamoto in front of him in race 2, he helped to keep the competition at bay and allow Soichiro Minamoto to get that SuperSport 600 championship. Soichiro, of course, we'll be seeing in the next session after lunch in ASB 1000. He already has a win under his belt, but it's time for Tosak to join everyone else in the pits. But just to run through the order here, Kiatisak has been sitting at the top of the timing screen for quite a while, with the best time 1:39.518. That's really good pace from him. Apiwat 2/10 slower, and then it's Azroy having a much better session in FP2 than he did in FP1. Tanat Leongpliao, 4th quickest for Honda Racing Thailand. Ratapong Willarat has destroyed his bike, so we won't be seeing him till FP3. Hopefully team have the spare parts to get him out again for this afternoon's session. Helmi Asman for Idemitsu Bunshu Honda, currently 6th with a 1:40.203. That's 4/10 quicker than he managed first time out this morning. Wayu Nugroho for Yamaha Racing Indonesia is 7th, 1:40.239 for the Indonesian class rookie. Another class rookie just behind him. Reza Danica Arens is 8th. He had a good session this morning. He finished up 5th with a best time of 1:40.225. 1:40.791 is his best time so far. So as we look at the pit lane exit then, which is just after turn 1, and before what we call turn 2, which is just really a kink, but at high speeds it does feel more like a turn. That is Xia Juntong for Victor Racing Team, the Chinese rider that has done so much to promote the sport in his home country and really set himself the challenge of being on the grid, racing with some of the best riders in these classes, racers with World Championship experience. Number 23 coming out there is McKinley Carl Paz, yet another class rookie. McKinley Carl Paz got a podium first time out in round 1. He hasn't made the podium since then, although he was 4th the last time out in race 2 at Sepang, and he was 6th in race 1. But Carl's showing some good form as well. There's Tanat, number 31, out there, getting back down to business. Yuta Date, number 64, on the Yamaha Racing Indonesia machine. Japanese rider, Indonesian Yamaha. The chemistry between Japan and Indonesia in the Yamaha stable working really well. We've also seen Kengo Nagao, a race winner earlier in the season, riding for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. But there is the session leader, Kiatisak Singapong, the number 85. He's got Tanat just behind him. Tanat sitting 4th, 1:40.1, so 0.6 behind his teammate. The start of a flying lap in this second stint. So Tanat shadows Kiatisak. Through the heat haze, another couple of riders behind them we'll pick out shortly as Kiatisak and Tanat take slightly different entries into turn 3, the 180 loop at the top of the circuit. Then it's a long plunge down to turn 4. Gatisak just trying to get some breeze in, I think, by flapping his legs around. That won't have helped his top speed score this time around. Tanat goes ahead of him as they go into the more technical part of the circuit that starts at turn 5. There they go through turn 6. And then back up to the top of the circuit, about level with turn 3. Helmi Asman running wide there. Yamaha running with him, so a lot of riders running off. That's the beginning of this stint where, after a long break, Tanat, there's Helmi Asman, the number 32. There's Wayne Nugroho, the number 89. Tanat on your right, coming into pit lane. Wayne Nugroho going through into turn 12. Gatisak going into turn 12. 6 minutes remaining. And there's room for the times to tumble. We saw a best time of 1:39.9 this morning. We've got 2 riders in 1:39s now. Gatisak and Apiwat, 2 home riders. Next up, one of the princes of Sepang, Asroy. Hakim Anwar is 3rd quickest and always goes well here. And then it's Tanat. There is Reza Danica, who has yet to improve on his FP1 time, but he was running really good pace earlier today. There he is, the number 123 that he carried to the AP 250 title in 2023. He hasn't found it quite plain sailing in SuperSport 600s, but coming in with good intent and good pace for this final round of the 2024 championship. Through turn 4 he goes. Into turn 5. It's like a double turn. Then flick over for turn 6. Be really careful to get the exit right to turn 5 and a clean line into turn 6. Razor did it well then. Now into turn 7. And that really sharp left-hander is turn 9. Now they come through turn 11. Hammering down the long run to turn 12. Back down through the gearbox into 2nd for these 600s. Across the line for Reza Danica. Reza, that's an improvement for him. That's his best lap so far. As we come into the late stages of this session. Good to see Reza Danica looking as though he's mastered this 600. And once again, the notable absentee from FP2. Ooh, there's another Honda down there. And that is... No, I'm not going to call it for... Adinanta crashed earlier in the session. Oh, that was... Okay, so was that a rerun, or I think that was... Is that a rerun, or has he come out and gone down again? I think that might be a double crash there in the session for Adinanta. Find out a bit more later, but no time recorded in this session for Adinanta Putra, who comes here to wrestle the championship away from the leader, Apiwat Wongtananon. I think that was Wayunagroha we just saw going wide there. No such problem for Reza Danica, who gets in another respectable lap on 40.339, just a few thousandths slower than his best time. So again, we saw it in the first session, we're seeing it again now. Good pace from Reza Danica Arens. That's McKinley Carl Paz, the number 23. Currently 9th, best time 1:40.8. That is just 1.3 seconds off the best time of Apiwat. Has put himself back on top. Last time around, 1:39.457. This is more like we expected from championship leader. He's displaced his countryman, Yatisak Singapong, from first to second. Azroy still sits third. Helmi Asman has joined him in fourth, pushing Tanat down to fifth. We're staying with Reza Danica, so let's look at his sector times. Decent, not his best, but once again showing good pace. And looking at the differences in lap times, we've got we've got 1 second covering the top 6, although the 6th is Ratapong, who destroyed his bike earlier. Here comes Reza Danica Arens again for Astra Honda. Best time 1:40.335. This won't improve it, but it's taking a while to come up. It's a 1:40.849. So again, consistent pace from Reza Danica Arens. He blasts his way up and throws out the anchor for turn 3. Good, worthwhile track time. Reza Danica finding the limits. Now on that long run down. Tanat on the CBR, the Honda CBR, has the best time through the speed traps, level with Utadate, so Honda and Yamaha. Evens on top speed. So there goes Reza. Round the top of the circuit. The checkered flag is out now. And that's Apiwat crossing the line for the final time. That was a 1:40 for him that time around. His best time, 1:39.1, is a full 3/10 better than that recorded by Kiatisak. Looking at the timing screens here, I don't quite... no, that's old data there. Wayunagroho in 7th, so those look like they will shortly be confirmed as the quickest times. Yeah, no position changes as that bunch of riders went through. So that is free practice 2. 2 out of 3 done for the SuperSport 600s. Let's just take a look at the results on the graphic as we look towards the grandstand above pits. That's looking down from turn 3. Apiwat Wongtananon, championship leader. He topped the second session of the day, 1:39.184, and the fastest time of the day for the tie. He is ahead of Kiatisak Singapong for Honda Racing Thailand, 1:39.5, and then a bunch of riders in the 140s led by Azroy Hakim Anwar for Idemitsu FIM Honda, just ahead of his teammate Helmi Asman. Then it was Tanat Long Pliao, then Ratapong Willarot, who destroyed his bike midway through that session. Then it was Wayunagroho. Reza Danica Arens was 8th, he put in some good work. that ended up 8th. McKinley Carl Paz for Yamaha Techni Racing Team Asia 9th, 10th. While replacement rider, rather, Utadase for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. Quiet session for Vida Ega Pratama for Ashra Honda, he was 11th. Wildcard Tusak Noansai for Yamaha TNP PTT Lubricants was 12th. Shajin Tong for Victor Racing was 13th. 14th, no time for Adinanta Putra, who crashed on his outlap. So, no action in the session for the championship contender, Adinanta Putra. It's coming up to lunchtime now. We'll be back at 12:30 with the second free practice session of the day for ASB 1000s. There you can see the calendar on your screen then. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with you at 1 o'clock for ASB 1000s. We'll see you soon. We're at Chang International Circuit for the final round of the 2024 Idemitsu FIM Asia Road Racing Championship.